Alright guys, I recently posted a video about herds in The Walking Dead and it did amazing. Thank you for all the support on it, it means so much to me. In that video, I only covered herds in the main show, but I also said that I'd make a separate video covering other herds outside the main show, and that's exactly what this video is. I thought I could cover every other show in this one video, but I was wrong. Fear the Walking Dead is the sister show to the main series, and while making this, I realized there were way more herds in it than I had anticipated, so this is just going to be a video about every herd in Fear the Walking Dead. I know a lot of people didn't watch this show, and it's fine if you didn't. We're just covering the herds with minor context. I don't plan on getting into the entire story around them. So if you love zombies and The Walking Dead, I'm sure you'll appreciate this video just for the herds. Also, there's a lot of them in the show, so go ahead and relax. I think I've rambled enough, so without any further ado, let's get started. The first herd we see is in season 1, of course, just like the main show. We see Daniel use them as a weapon against a corrupt faction of soldiers so our group can get inside the base. He acquired this herd out of nowhere, and it's a pretty substantial amount. We get a really good shot right here. And this herd is big enough to destroy fences and make their way inside. They also managed to bring down this entire base overnight. The second herd we see is in season 2, and it's pretty early on. Our main characters are inspecting a plane crash on the beach when, of course, out of nowhere, a herd shows up. The group fights until they're backed into a corner, only to be saved at the last second. Even though this scene is a little weak, I like the location of a plane crash on the beach. This herd is the third on the list, and it successfully enters the hotel our group is staying at and forces them to leave. Madison later leads this herd off a boardwalk and straight into the ocean. The fourth herd we see is only a few episodes later. Nick leaves the group to head for a dangerous journey to Tijuana on foot, but it becomes even more dangerous when he runs into this herd. Luckily, by this point, he's learned the walker blood trick and is able to walk with them for a pretty substantial amount of time. It's a decent size, plus I like the location of a quiet interstate. The fifth herd we see is still in season 2. We see a family in Tijuana as they try to escape a community they say isn't safe anymore. They crawl into a bus that's being used to keep walkers fenced in and use the old walker blood trick to move through a pretty decent sized herd. We see it again when a local gang has to move through it to get into the community. It's even weaponized later when the bus is moved, allowing the walkers to overwhelm the gang and kill them all. We get a lot of decent shots here, and this one especially I love. For our sixth herd, we've got the canal herd. Nick comes across it while exiting the sewer, and it's a brief scene, but we get a couple decent shots here. The seventh herd comes in the first episode of season 3, when our main characters are forced to escape a military base after it begins to get overrun. Unfortunately though, the shots of it are pretty brief, but these are the best shots that we get. The eighth herd comes in season 3 and is genuinely one of my favorite herds in the Walking Dead universe. The group now lives on a ranch, and while out one day, we see a massive dust cloud. This dust cloud is caused by a massive herd of walkers traversing through the desert, and I think that is such an interesting premise. This herd becomes a literal natural disaster for the group and quickly overruns the ranch, causing death and destruction. The group sets up RVs to block them, but it's to no avail. Alicia takes charge and directs all the residents to run into a bunker and wait out the herd. There's so many great shots of this herd, and I love everything about it. This was truly a high point for the show, and I love how big they went for this. We see the ninth herd in season 4 when June is searching for supplies and what I believe is a FEMA shelter. This herd is different from the others because they didn't congregate by nature, but because they were all turned in the same place. It's not very big, but it does meet the requirements, so I figured I'd add it to the list. The 10th herd is one of the most important because it follows the conclusion to the stadium arc. This herd herd is used as a weapon at first by an antagonistic group that wants the stadium for themselves. They first unleash it at night, and we don't get to see much of it, and just like I talked about in the first herd video, the showrunners inflate the numbers here, especially in the later shots. Later in the episode, we see Madison lead the herd into the stadium and burn them all to a crisp. In the next episode, John gets injured, so June returns to the stadium for supplies, and this is when we see the aftermath of Madison's sacrifice. A massive herd of crispy walkers crowds the truck, and I love this shot so much. The backdrop of a stadium and the sheer amount of walkers in it is so unique. Add in the factor that they're completely burned, and you've got an amazing shot and an amazing sequence. The 11th herd we see is only a few episodes later when our group runs into trouble on the road, and this causes their truck to blow up. Of course, the explosion draws walkers, which ends up forming a herd. We see the group try to keep distance between them and the herd, but ultimately they're forced to seek shelter in a hospital. Like always, the dead end up making their way inside and force our characters onto the roof. We even see more of this herd up close when our characters try to escape. I personally really like this shot. A fire truck surrounded by the dead in front of an abandoned hospital in an empty city is just the perfect backdrop. The next herd is our number 12 spot on the list, and it's Daniel's herd that we see him lead away from the supermarket in order to save the group. Later, he meets up with the group and they use a plane to kill all of them. It's a pretty sick scene, but other than that, they don't do much. Next on our list, we have the 13th herd, and it's the first one we see in Season 5. We see them moving through while the group is trying to fix the plane. At first, they're successful in leading them away, but of course things go wrong, and Morgan, Alicia, and Grace are forced on foot with this herd right behind them. The group does successfully make it back to the plane, and at the last second, with the herd right on their heels. A cool thing about this herd is that some of them are tangled together by their own intestines. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I like it. Now on to our 14th spot, we have this herd. I won't discuss it too much because I'm going to talk about it in another video, but it traps our group on a roof and forces them to come up with a strategy to escape. It's a very decent herd and I love the setting here. There are also some very cool shots here as well. For the 15th spot on my list, I have one of my favorites since the ranch herd. We see the fenced-in Wild West park called Humbug's Gulch has a herd of over 230 walkers. The group wants to have this place as a settlement, so they use the horses to lead this herd away. I love the setting here as a Wild West town full of the dead. It's also a very big herd, and this is my favorite shot of it. Things go wrong, of course, so our group leads them to a river to kill them and wash them away. The 16th herd comes just a couple episodes later when Victor and Alicia open the warehouse doors to get a weapon inside. They corral the walkers and try to take them out 2 at a time. It's a decent amount, and if they were out in the open, this would have been more difficult, but they did manage to kill them all. The 17th herd is the one they find on the bridge when John, Dakota, and Morgan have to clear it out to get the truck on the road. It's a smaller herd, but like most on here, it takes a long time to clear out. The 18th herd is the first we see in Season 7. It's a herd that crowds the walls outside of the hospital, trapping everyone inside. It's a very substantial amount, and it only gets bigger over the course of a few episodes. I really enjoy these shots right here. This definitely feels like the biggest herd that we've seen in a while. The 19th herd we see is the Grapple Chapel herd. This herd congregates outside of a wrestling club, seemingly being drawn together by the sound of a creaking metal sign. Mickey and Sherry make their way inside and are forced to fight the herd by climbing into the ring and taking them out one at a time. I love this set piece a lot because it's super unique, plus it involves a herd, which I love, obviously. Now for a truly interesting herd, and number 20 on the list, we got the radioactive walkers. They're stuck inside a crater, also called the Pit by the Stalkers. This crater is caused by a direct hit of a nuclear warhead, making these walkers especially dangerous. This is one of my favorites in the Walking Dead universe, so I've been waiting to mention it. Next, we have our 21st herd, and it's the Frozen Walkers.
The entire herd is stuck.
It's a herd that Daniel and Madison come across while out looking for Alicia. They're all frozen to the hillside and act as a walker minefield that our survivors have to navigate through. I love this one because it's so different and it's a great use of the environment. Now for our 22nd and final herd, it comes in our very last season of the show. This is the herd Troy plans to use against Padre. We get some really good shots of it here and it's a decent size. Later, Madison ends up killing the herd the exact same way she did with the stadium herd and wipes them out fairly quickly. It's still cool though, and funny enough, just like with The Walking Dead, the final episode of the series ends with a herd. Hey guys, it's Editing Cody here. Turns out I missed a herd, so here's that. This is actually the first herd we see in Season 8. It's brief, but we get a huge herd contained in a shipping yard. We hear Ben say this to his sister.
There are thousands of carrion in that shipyard. Carrion we put there to protect what's inside.
There's thousands in this shipyard, but we don't get the full scale of it here, but we do get to see more once this herd gets led away. I wish we could get the full scale of it, but we don't, probably for budget reasons. Anyways though, this herd makes number 23 on the list. And with that being said, we are finished. The research for this was immense. I didn't think the number would be so high, but my explanation for it is that I think Fear the Walking Dead uses zombies more as a crutch for high stakes moments to make up for weak writing when it comes to its antagonists. We see the main show lean heavy into the opposite, so I guess it's cool we see both. Now, in my last one, I ranked all these herds from smallest to biggest, but there are 22 of these with similar looking numbers and size, so please cut me some slack when I say I'm not ranking all of these. What I will do though is look at the biggest ones and rank those real quick. Because I forgot it earlier, I'm putting the Shipyard herd right here as an honorary mention. It's a very big herd, and if we saw the full scale of it, it could probably be up there with some of the biggest herds in the series, but we don't, unfortunately. Regardless though, I love this shot, and because of how many walkers are here, it definitely deserves to be up here with some of the biggest in the series. For our 7th spot, for the biggest herds, I have the hospital herd from season 1. This shot is pretty sick and it shows a lot of walkers, including this shot too, which I really love. I enjoy the size of this herd considering it's only from the first season. Next, in the 6th place, I have Troy's herd from the end of the show. There are a lot of walkers here obviously, but I feel the hospital herd could be bigger. Then in the 5th spot, I have the tower herd, mostly because of this shot, which shows walkers here and here, so we can assume the tower is completely surrounded. Based on the amount here, I believe this herd is bigger than the last two. Next and 4th, I have the stadium herd, and honestly this herd and the last could be neck and neck with size, but I'm still going to put this one above it. In 3rd, I have the Humbug's Gulch herd. This one is a favorite and the only one we get a specific number for. This shot to me feels like more than the previous ones, so I'm just gonna put it here. The second one we got on the list is this awesome Creator herd from season 7. This one to me is clearly bigger than the rest, and the only problem is I just don't think it beats our number 1 spot, that being the ranch herd. This shot of them is incredible, and I think this herd gives Beta's final herd a run for its money. And honestly, it might blow it out of the lead for the biggest walker herd I've covered in the 2 main shows. I think this is another example, like I said in the last video, where the showrunners inflate the numbers with CGI, because this is a lot, like thousands, but the one we see that hits the ranch is a lot smaller, and it's clearly not all of these walkers. But with that being said, it's still the same herd, so I'm just going off this shot alone. These shots capture the scale of it too, and to me, it clearly outnumbers the last herds we've discussed. Also, before the comments get flooded, I know that there's bigger herds in other shows, whether they're shown or referenced. I'll cover them in a separate video. It was supposed to be this one, but Fear the Walking Dead had way more than I anticipated, so I had to give it its own video. But anyways guys, I think we're done. That is every herd in Fear the Walking Dead I could find, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all of them just as much as I have. I love zombies and The Walking Dead a lot, so talking about these herds is just the perfect excuse for me. I also have more videos coming, so hopefully you'll enjoy them just as much as you've enjoyed the last ones. Also, if you guys have any ideas about things you want to see, just let me know in the comments. I'm curious to what other fans would enjoy seeing. I hope to see you in the next one, and thank you guys for all the support. Peace.